Hello, everybody. It's me, Otelia Edwards, with Steve Chia for another episode of Deep Dive.
That's right. Great to be back with all you folks. Now, recently, the Singapore government issued a Protection from Online Falsehoods and Manipulation Act. We call it POFMA here in Singapore. It's a correction order that was given to a US stand-up comedian, Sammy Obeid. He was allegedly had made some allegations about why his show had been cancelled.
That's right. And to be more specific about that allegation, basically he said that his script was rejected by the Infocom Media Development Authority, IMDA, even after he compiled and removed references to the conflict in Gaza, among a whole bunch of other things. But then IMDA, they later issued this timeline showing that Mr. Obeid's license to perform was rejected not due to the content of his script, but simply because the application came in late.
Yeah. So it just didn't make it to the deadline, So for some context, live performers here in Singapore are required to submit an arts entertainment license application at least 40 days before the event. While it is a straightforward case of a late application in Mr. Obeid's case, what happened also got many people talking and also asking questions, wondering, well, what is the process to get a license like, especially for a stand-up comedian? So joining us, yes, we have Kumar, a veteran entertainer and no stranger to live shows.
Yes, hello.
So
This is the introduction. I thought you were going to ask me a question already.
Not yet. And Heazry, Salim, owner and co-founder of the Comedy Club Asia.
Hi.
So let's just talk about the paperwork first, right? Heazry, help us understand the nitty-gritty of this application. I mean, it seems like everything is actually available online in order to get this arts entertainment license. So it should be quite straightforward.
Yeah, it's quite straightforward. As you mentioned, it's 40 days, working days. So essentially, you have to send it in 2 months before.
Okay.
Everything's online. I think there's two big parts to it. One is there's a content checklist, of course. I think there's 6 sections to that. It's just a yes or no whether there's things included in the show.
Also, yes or no. You don't need to actually give what exactly you're talking about or going to be.
We do. So there's one checklist where you can just go yes or no. And then the second part is the talking points for each comedian. So like if you have like 5 comedians, each comedian will have like 4 or 5 different jokes.
Right.
Premises.
Do you have
and
to actually send in the actual jokes?
For me, I don't.
But I have to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Because Kumar is on the blacklist. They're like, this guy.
My God!
I'm just talking about stand-up comedy here. So I guess for theatre productions, there is a full-on script, right? Word for word. But for us, it's more of... ours is not really strictly word for word in that sense, our shows.
Okay, wait. So maybe just clarify. When you say you have to send in the points about what that comedian will cover in his act, roughly, does it like references to what kind of jokes, whether they'll be about race, religion, things like that?
Yeah, so the checkpoints are probably like, okay, do you have racial or racial jokes? Are there sexual jokes? Are there profanities in the show?
Okay.
Are there topics that promote alternative lifestyle like fetishes and all that? Is there nudity on stage?
Okay.
Right. So if you some of it for
Religious?
us, religious, racial or religious,
Yeah.
So ours is definitely will have occasional use of profanity.
Not me.
No, Kumar though. And sexual references.
Okay.
And then they will ask, okay, so where's the sexual references and all that? So, but it will be contained in our talking points. So like for Kumar, for example, I'll list out like 5 things that he wants to talk about. Like let's say Kumar will talk about relationships. Right. So there's a premise. And then the setup of the story is like, he'll talk about blah, blah, blah. And then we'll just...
So there are 2 different categories, the R18 and the Advisory 16.
Yeah.
So for like Kumar, for you, I mean, your content is quite risky and all of that. So do you just straight go for the R18?
Yes.
You just stick yes, everything will be improved.
Yeah, just R18.
Okay.
I just say, okay, I'm doing an R18 show. Because if you put the Advisory 16, then you can get into more trouble because of your content. And I don't want to risk it because people know what I do. So people want to come and hear that.
Right.
So you just put yourself R18 up. I don't want the youngsters come and listen to my stuff, Yeah.
So you're upfront, as in,
Yeah,
and even
upfront.
when you do R18, do you have to submit your script as well?
Yes, you still have to. Even if you tell, okay, a point form joke, sometimes they want to elaborate on the joke.
So is all of this sort of like written out, like this exchange, it's like all via like email, or do you actually speak to somebody and then you...
it's email now.
By emails, okay.
Email, but if you do something wrong, then they will ask you to come down. Let's say you say something on stage that is not supposed to say, then you have to come down, right? And then they might even find you or something.
But that's after the fact.
After the show.
So we're talking about before the show when
Before
you're
the show,
applying to get your license.
Yeah, if they say don't say, don't say.
Okay, but you don't have to come down and like do like an audition, give them a
No, that one I used to do 1992.
So, okay, Kumar, so for you as a performer, right, do you even think about, okay, so these are the rules that I have
Yeah.
to follow? Or do you actually focus on a comedy first and then you deal with the approval later? How does it work?
Because I've been doing this for so long, right? So I actually censor myself. I know what can and what cannot be said. So I know that if you cannot say, don't say. Because I don't want to get into trouble after all these years, right? So I also walk on the safe ground. Already walking on a fence. So I always censor myself. I don't go too deep into it. You know, maybe touch and go.
So you have the advantage because obviously being a local, you know sort of what the boundaries
Yes.
are. But foreigners that come in, I mean, they wouldn't know the grey areas. Is it clear to them?
Yeah, I think overseas they already sort of self-censor themselves in the sense where there's not much religious jokes. There's, you know, you have to be really funny to touch on the religious jokes. And they know politics as well. They don't really touch politics because they don't know enough of Singapore politics. In that sense, there might be an off remark here and there. But they generally have their own set which they strictly keep to. That's pretty much it.
I think if they only send the script much earlier,
Yeah.
then you're on safe ground already.
So that means more than 40 days earlier, like could
just
even be
whenever
3
it's ready,
months, 4
just
months.
send. Why you wait until last minute? Just send.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you will know lah. They will
So
definitely-
I mean, the 40 days is the latest.
That's-
right?
yeah, yeah.
And I
That's
guess
the
the reason
latest.
for the 40 days is so that there is time for some back
Yeah,
and forth, right?
yeah.
So obviously, if you send it earlier, you have more time for
Yeah,
that.
that's
back
what I
and
meant.
forth.
If you send it early, then you have more time.
I was also curious to know, is there typically room for dialogue? Like, let's say, you know, you really want to talk about this particular topic or this joke, but then they say no, and then is there a lot of back and forth going on, or you just take it as like yes means yes or no?
Can you convince them to
Yeah.
change their mind?
To be honest, I've done numerous applications and there hasn't been much of that in a sense. There hasn't been much pushback. Maybe it's the way I put on the points across. You know, we get away during the show. Sometimes something goes off script. But generally, no, there hasn't been much pushback.
Yeah, how much do you need to keep the script, you know? Because there's always that concern that, yes, I approve A, but then on the night itself you do B, you know, then...
I think
Yeah, this
we don't do
convenience,
B lah. We do A plus.
Yeah, that's right.
course,
No,
you're
no B
Singaporeans,
grade,
yeah.
right? No B grade.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so we.
I think sometimes you guys feel the crowd as well.
Yeah, and then we
know?
go with the crowd, you know. So, of course, because I'm luckier, because firstly, I don't speak vulgarity. So, I don't say the parts of the body, anatomy. So, I'm on a safe ground because I am just more innuendos.
Right.
But
So,
when
okay.
you say the F word so much, I think that will be a controller.
Okay.
Okay.
After all,
okay.
this is still Singapore, you know.
Yeah.
We are opening up, but slowly lah.
So, yeah, Kumar, take us back to like, you know, you've been in this industry for how many years?
34.
34 years, okay, and counting. What your experience like, you know, dealing with, you know, all this like paperwork and regulations then and now? How has it evolved?
Then was, I think, much easier because I performed for the police. And,
That's easier.
you know, because you get the answer immediately. Now it takes a longer time because everything is digital, email, and last time it was more contained audience, but now everybody's opened up. So everybody wants to laugh. So everybody wants to come and watch. So of course, I understand authorities have to become a bit more tighter because of the content that's going out.
Yeah.
I've learned to do that. So I know that a lot of things cannot say, but some things can say because like I talk policies, I talk about this, this is
Right.
not right. Oh, could it be done this way? That's all fine. I'm not saying that, you must do this way, you know. So you have to know what's happening. You know, like I'll give an example. Many years ago, I was performing with a comedian from India, okay? And he went on stage and he said, how many of you women drink wine? His joke is a wine joke.
Yeah.
He did the same thing in Malaysia. He get no response. So he said, so you all don't drink? And I'm like, you need to do your homework.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
You
right.
know, it's a Muslim country.
Yeah.
Even if they do, they're not going to own up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No,
or
no.
not?
So of course, like you say, understanding your audience.
Yeah, I need to
knowing
understand.
the culture, the
or
context.
just
of,
the country.
Right.
Read a bit about it.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll know what you can say, what you cannot say.
Yeah, so Heazry, you've brought in a number of like foreign comedians, right?
Yeah.
How do you actually prepare them for a process that they might not be used to?
Same thing. I'll tell them that, look, okay, basically you have 20 to 25 minutes on the stage. That gives you 4 jokes, 5 jokes. Each joke is about 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Tell me what your premise is and tell me the setup, and then we'll just submit it as a talking point.
Okay.
And if it comes back that they have more questions, they want elaboration, and then we'll just elaborate it.
And in your experience so far, whenever you send in applications, and as long as you get in ahead of time, you've been able to work things out and get it approved.
That's been the case all the time. I mean, I think in the early days, there were a couple of times we did send in late.
Yeah.
They called us in and said that, hey, look, it's you can't send it too late.
Right. Has it also become more challenging now that there are different categories? So in the past, like Kumar, when you first started, sometimes it's just a yes or no.
Yeah.
Right? Now you can be in this category, advisory 16, R18.
Yeah.
Is that better or worse?
I think it's better because at least we know the target audience, the age group, so that we can cater the jokes according to that age group. So we don't have to censor ourselves so much because we can talk about a lot of other intimate stuff, relationship. But if you put under 16, advisory 16, then we have to be more careful because can go into a sensitive zone.
So you're saying it's better for you as a comedian as well?
Yes.
Because you know the audience there is kind of, that demographic.
Yes,
right?
correct. Absolutely right. Yeah.
I think we prefer to have R18 because, there's no holding back.
Yeah.
And the crowd will know what to expect. You don't want someone to bring their 16-year-old or 17-year-old and then not agree with what's said on stage. And then we get in trouble later, right? So we might as well just do it R18.
Also, all comedians now do online. They have a lot of
It goes
jokes
on
online.
YouTube and all that.
When they come on stage and then you're doing a totally different material because you have to control yourself, the audience won't be happy. But they don't understand that we have to go through this regulation of advisory 16 or what. They don't. I don't care. I watch you. You're really funny. Suddenly you change everything. Now I'm like, I wasted my money.
So so you have to adjust to that as well?
Yeah. So I just do everything R18.
Oh, so when you choose the most open category, in other words, you
all
can
the way.
basically...
Yes.
Okay, but even under the R18 category, I'm sure there's some things you can't do, right?
Of course, I work around it, but I cannot say.
I guess in some cases it's because, we know our country and we know that certain things can be quite sensitive and can lead to something else later on.
And also because you are multiracial.
Multiracial, absolutely. That's right.
So we have to preserve that, that cohesion and all of that you can see.
Yeah.
I mean, why Singapore? I suppose we've done well in that respect because we have to guard certain things.
But you're right, multiracial. That is the biggest thing that we have to be very concerned about.
Yeah, because we don't want to upset each other unnecessarily.
Correct.
But in saying that as well, our crowd does love the racial jokes. And we do have it, but the good thing that everyone does is that everyone
gets it. Yeah.
Everyone gets it. So there's no choosing
just one particular race.
No, but also because when you pay money to go to a show, knowing that's the category, you are ready for it.
Yes.
Versus being suddenly some guy just saying this about me and you're like,
Yeah.
So all that improvisation, like you're saying, all that riffing, and then you're trying to gauge the crowd. Has it been a time when you've said something, right, and you realize, I've actually crossed the line? How do you
pedal back?
Yeah, can you
can't.
pedal?
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. But you can feel the audience getting uncomfortable. You quickly switch.
Okay.
Move to the next one so that give them time to forget it.
So is there room, do you think, for stand-up comedy, for us to push the envelope further? Or you think, this is where we're at, where the rules are at, we're good?
No, I'm very happy because I already pushed it.
You're the pioneer. You're the pioneer.
You're saying
pushed it
now
for everyone else.
You get to do the show the way you like it.
Yeah, because
right?
I get to say more things than before. Because people in 1992, people were very conservative.
Right.
Now people are a bit more open because they're all knowledgeable, well-traveled. They like to laugh. So you can push the boundaries a bit. But also censor yourself.
I think if you want to censor anything, it's hard these days because everyone's online looking at the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Even Netflix is not
Right.
super censored. There's all sort of topics on Netflix, know, in language-wise as well, So
No, but Netflix, when it's language-wise, they already put their R21. But how many kids are now?
they're so exposed to everything anyway. So it's
So in other words, you do see more openness, say, from
Yes.
10 years ago.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely more openness. People are more understanding about what stand-up comedy is all about. That we make fun of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So people know that's what it is. So let's go and have a laugh. Because if people are very sensitive, they shouldn't come and watch. Because you're the
That is
type.
true.
Yeah, because it's a laugh the whole night. It's not if you are the type, I get offended. Don't go and watch.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and later grumble, oh, you should apologize to me. I'm like, hello, then don't come.
But Singapore, it's quite impressive. We've got quite a few of these big comedians,
Yeah.
right, coming down. We had Kevin Hart. is it Margaret Cho,
Yeah.
Ronnie
Trevor
Chang, and all
Noah,
those people?
yeah.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a sign in a way that we are opening ourselves up as well to all these
Yes.
international, right, comedians.
It's
Yeah.
always been the case. I think it's like there's always internationals for a long, long time. You know, I mean, we've been doing this since 2009, and we brought like numerous acts from UK and around the world. So there's, I mean, at our shows we don't hold back anything. That's what I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, we've never had any issues as well. You know, I guess the only dangerous thing is someone complains, and so far we haven't had any
No,
complaints.
because we are not doing it in public.
yeah,
We are doing it in
So it's a
selected
closed door
audience.
session,
Yeah,
in
a closed
that
door, and
sense.
it's selected people buy ticket to watch, so they know what they're coming for.
But do you find also like the newer generation, the younger generation of comedians that are coming up now, do you find that their material is different? I mean, Kumar, you're authentic in your own self and that is your style, people know. But do you find like when you deal or you mentor these young
they're
comedians,
different.
they're pushing the boundaries a bit more and, you know?
I don't think they're pushing the boundaries because everyone has got their own style.
Right.
So everyone is talking about actually not different things about the same thing, but just delivered differently.
Are they more woke in that sense? Are they more? Do they
As
try
in
to
a
be more
Gen, you're using a
PC?
Gen Z term.
Yeah. More woke. You don't know woke. ah?
You can
It's
say
opposite
woke,
of
but they will
sleep, ah.
cancel you.
but in comedy, woke is a vulgar word. We don't.
Ah, because
Yeah, we don't
Because-
censor
Wow.
ourselves. We try not to censor ourselves. Any topic is not untouchable as long as you're funny. If you can turn it into something funny, it's fine.
Okay, so because woke means you're sensitive to those around you in what you say or do in
Yeah,
that sense,
yeah.
right? So you're saying for you guys, you just want to be funny regardless of.
Regardless,
right?
yeah. Any situation can be poked fun at.
It sounds like you would go off script at times to
Yeah,
just
but
you know.
that's why I say I censor myself, so I won't go too far and I come back.
How often does it happen? Like, you know, after they've impromptu or maybe they've gone veered off script and then, you know, they get a call and say
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, we have to revisit this thing. Why did you say that? I mean, does that happen often enough or just...
I don't think so.
No,
right?
never once
No,
for me.
No.
Okay.
We've never been called in to say that, hey, you guys went off script.
Just looking ahead, right?
Yeah.
Do we need to make any more tweaks? I won't say changes because overall it seems like quite a healthy, lively scene. But is there anything you think we can try and improve to sort of, you know,
No,
level up our scene here?
No,
or-
I think IMDA is doing a great job, and I think we need to have this. We need to have a department that controls the script. You know, it will blow out of proportion, and then we have everyone end up in a protest, and the whole audience.
No,
stand
you don't
up.
want that.
If you
Yeah,
don't-
yeah.
It might end up there. You don't know, you know, because so many things happening around the world, right?
Yeah.
So it might end up there. Yeah. So I think this thing is perfect.
Perfect for
Okay.
you. Okay.
That works
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, bye.
I mean, the process is easy enough. Everything is online. But I think there's one tweak.
Yep.
For example, like if I'm doing a show and then maybe a month out, I decide to add in someone new. Then what happens? That's the only thing sometimes, you know.
So that means you have to start the process all over again.
Start all over again, and then whether they'll give me leeway to go like, okay, you're
Right.
adding one more person, you know, stuff.
But also it depends who. If you bring in Kumar suddenly, because they already know him,
Yeah,
right? So
correct.
maybe that
Yeah.
that will ease things up,
Yeah,
unless
that's
you
right.
bring a totally
Yeah.
new face.
We've done it before, but yeah, I mean, there's some flexibility that is required, I think.
So-
So
okay,
for all
we've-
the would-be comedians who want to, you know, in Singapore, who want to put up a show.
So if you have a last minute, you know, fly in, you think you got a month left, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah. So this is one where you can't spontaneously
You
just
can't,
decide.
yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, that's a drawback. That's the flexibility I'm saying. Sometimes you're chasing a big name and then they go, hey, I'm available, I'm flying through. Can I do a show? And I'm like, yeah, but
Oh, you mean those flying through type?
so
Flying
yeah.
through. Oh, want to make a...
In 2 weeks, my
2
weekend
weeks.
is open up. I can give you
Yeah,
a show.
exactly
Then you're like, just fly on, brother.
Let's go. That's it out.
Just come enjoy Changi Airport and continue on. Okay. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming in, sharing that.
Hey, pleasure.
As it's good to
Just
clarify.
clear,
And
yeah,
and I think
clear,
for all
yes.
of us watching the shows, we're always enjoying a good laugh. A good laugh always fixes so many things. in
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
right?
we always need that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, all in, I think I'm just very heartened by the fact that this space is thriving and is doing good.
Yeah, that's right. So for all of you watching and listening in, of course, we do love to hear from you. Anytime, just give us a buzz, drop us a note, let us know rather what you think about what you've heard or seen. Otherwise, I think it's just time for us to say thanks to the team. We have Tiffany Ang, Junani Johari, Joanne Chan, Muhammad Nufaiz, Ho Pei Ning, Nat Fetovero, and Alison Jenner. Video is by Jeremy Long and Hanida Amin. We'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.
See you. Bye.
Bye.